Welcome back to our Nioh 2 100% walkthrough. On this episode we'll be doing the main mission called the High Spirited Demon. We've got 6 Kodama to collect, we've got 1 hot spring location, and we've also got a mission based achievement. My name is Azzavhar or Azza. Now let's jump into the video. Okay, so the first Kodama is right here, tucked away, so make sure to grab that bad boy. There we go. We also get this friendly NPC with us on this stage, which is always good. Just make sure to check a couple of things at this first shrine. The first thing being your soul cores, or your attuned soul cores. So you should have access to attune 3 soul cores at this time. So just make sure that you've attuned your third one. We are rocking Kasha, Enki and Wheel Monk. So just double check that. Also, just check your Kodama Blessing as well. Make sure you got your Receive Kodama Blessing. We've got the top one, which is Oracle Blessing. Other than that, we should be good to go. So let's get cracking. The mission-based achievement itself is these yellow crystals you see in the distance there. We need to smash those yellow crystals. I believe there's 6 in total. So 6 Kodama. 6 yellow crystals and 1 hot spring location. Let's get to work. So this first bit, nothing too crazy on this first bit. It's just looting, shooting, slicing and dicing. Working our way down this hill. Just pop this guy with a high stance wombo combo. There we go. And there's only one way to get this first yellow crystal. We have to follow this round here, kind of like tucked away behind this bush. Follow this round, drop down, head towards the crystal. Just watch out for this enemy that's kind of like waiting just there. Just give him the old 1-2. The crystals will do like a pulse or pulsate, just like that. So just watch out for that. It can do quite a fair bit of damage, so just, you know, watch your step there. There's bad boys. So that's the first yellow crystal done. And then we've got a bunch of different ways that we can go and a bunch of different things that we can do. So what we'll do first of all, just lock onto this guy and pop a couple of feathers down, rain down fire onto his face. Then we'll get the drop down. Not quite sure what's going off with the camera there, but we got the kill, so sounds good. And then we've got a couple of different ways that we can go. What we'll do first of all is head to the right in this direction into the Dark Realm. Watch out for this bad boy because he packs a mighty punch. So I'm going to go for Sloth Talisman to get things started, and then try and get some feathers on him to get some debuffs on him and stuff like that. Going to go for some more lightning, some more fire, and then finish off with kunai. That should do the job. So yeah, just watch out for that guy. He's a bit of a spicy meatball, and he can pack a punch. We'll go and clear out this dark realm. So a couple more enemies will be waiting for us. Watch out for this ranged guy in the distance. Just strafe to avoid his shots and stuff. Although he's holding fire at the minute, it seems. So we'll just go for the headshot. There we go. I think there's an enemy tucked away in this grass, if memory serves. Some faint memory of this thing destroying me at some point, so just watch out for that. And then another enemy tucked away inside this door. Once again, be careful of that bad boy. If you're not careful, he will attack you and knock you off this cliff. So try and perhaps bait an attack and then just run back. Try and get your sloth on. It missed. I'm going to try and get purification on. Ideally back up and then finish with feathers. He's restored his key, which doesn't help us. It took a fair few feathers, but we got there because he restored his key. So It's made our life a bit more difficult, but there we go. Let's grab all the bits and bobs. Just trying to grab these items without falling off a cliff there. I think there's a treasure chest in here, so we'll pick up this bad boy. I'm not going to rest at the shrine, but there is one here. I don't want to respawn a bunch of enemies just yet, so we'll just leave that for now. A couple of different ways we can go once again. I'm going to go up the slope. I think there's an enemy that's kind of chilling on the floor here. I'm just going to ruin his nap time. Let's give him the old one too. Now we are being shot at from somewhere. I think it might be this guy that's just randomly shot one bullet and then given up. Try and get Hornbreak if possible. Try and deplete Key. So yeah, I think that's that. So what I was trying to do before I got shot in the back of the head with a cannon is knock down this tree to create a shortcut back up to the start bit. So that is there if you want it. A couple more bits and bobs we can do. What I'll do is head back down this slope and follow this pathway around a bit. There's a couple of bits and bobs we can do in here. We've got one of these crazy kappa things. Watch out, because if they start breakdancing, it's not ideal. There we go. I'm going to use Enki to get myself in the air and avoid his crazy breakdance there. So just watch out for that. If you do have Enki like I do, you can use Enki to you know, give yourself some air time and get out of the way whilst he's breakdancing on the floor, so you can avoid his crazy shell thing. A couple of enemies will be knocking about. I've got one over there, and there's also one up on a tree up there. We just need to take those out. Go for some shurikens, pop these bad boys. Finish them off with melee, I think. Just be careful, we are quite squishy. I'm going to try and take this guy out from here. Just a couple of arrows should do the job. I go for the headshot, but sometimes it's easier said than done. There we go. So we'll just clear out this. We'll grab this item. Don't worry about these double doors for now. They're locked. We'll come back to those a little bit later. I don't think there's anything in this house. Just a random empty house. And we've got a bit of a mini boss that we need to fight. So it's just up this slope on this side here. Probably could do with having some more feathers and stuff, to be fair, shinobi stuff. We may use a shinobi box. Let's go for it, we should be fine. I'll try and take him down as we are. Ideally we do need this sloth to hit though and not miss, because that would be not ideal if it misses. Just like that. I'll have to make do. So I'm going to heal up. We'll go for, I think, Purifying Salt in this scenario. We'll just throw a bunch of salt to get purification on. So purification is on. And then we'll just try and finish with feathers. There we go. So we did get it. It was unfortunate that the Sloth Talisman missed, but all good. What I would do is, if you want to be, you know, a bit safer there, a bit more secure, then definitely pop some shinobi boxes and some sacred brushes to like replenish your stock. Or you could visit a shrine and rest at the shrine before the battle itself, but obviously just keep in mind that if you do rest, then all the enemies will respawn, or a lot of them will. Other than that, yeah, let's drop a sword or something on the floor here. Going to drop this bad boy for this Sudama. and see what we get in return. Hopefully a weapon or something that we actually use. It is a purple longbow. Let's just compare that to the longbow that we currently have. So we've got a level 99. I think we can pull up comparison window here with right trigger. We can. So we 716 is what we currently have. 735. That'll do. I think we'll switch it over. Let's go for it. And obviously we just smashed a yellow crystal here. I forgot to mention that yellow crystal as I was just smashing away on the crystal itself. So yeah, second yellow crystal is there for the mission based achievement. Got another one just up ahead. So we'll head into this dark realm. Just watch out for this guy playing this instrument. Just pop him in the teeth if you can do, even though a lot of those seem to be missing. So I'll just go for a body shot. Only because he will summon like one of those red summons. And ideally you want to take him out before the red summon joins the party, because they can be pretty harsh. After that we'll light this cannon. It blows up a watchtower in the distance. Grab this item. I think it's explosive rounds for a rifle. Now we'll just take out this crystal. So far so good. So I believe that is crystal, yellow crystal number 3. Grab the items. Got another spicy meatball of an enemy right in front of us. Might be worth resting at a shrine before we take him on. What we can do is kick down these ladders. Creates a shortcut to the shrine that was down there a little bit earlier. And then what we can do, we'll grab some Kodama whilst we are here. So there's a Kodama just behind this barrier. You could roll through the barrier, but just beware if you do roll through the barrier. A lot of the time I just roll straight off the cliff, so that's why I attacked that barrier there instead. So that Kodama, and then we'll go across here. There is another one. It's just tucked away on this roof. So we'll grab that, grab the item here. So that's pretty much this starting bit all kind of cleared out and stuff. Nothing much more left to explore, so what we'll do is go take out this big beefy enemy. We may be able to do it. In fact, we'll play it safe and pop a cheeky rest. So make sure to kick these ladders down first. Drop on down and cheeky rest. We can also level up, it seems, so what we'll do is pop some points into Constitution to make us a little bit less squishy. And then straight back up the ladders. I'm not sure how many enemies will actually respawn there. Let's just double check. It's relatively clear, so sounds good to me. We'll buff up, ready for the fight itself. We'll start off with a Sloth Talisman. Might try and get some kind of horn break if we can get a shot on the horns. Careful of those ranged attacks. Don't think we're going to be able to get a horn break, so I'm just going to go straight in for the action there. Hop on Purification. And then feathers. So as long as their key is depleted, the feathers will pretty much just delete them. So that's what we was aiming for there. After that, we'll pop these doors open. Kodama is behind these boxes here, so I've got quite a lot of Kodama already. Make sure to grab that bad boy. Don't go into the boss or the mini boss sort of doors just yet. There's a couple of bits and bobs that we can do before taking on the mini boss. So we'll create a little bit of a shortcut. Well, they won't really technically need it, but we'll go grab it. Try and lure this guy over here. Want to fight him this way ideally. Sloth. I think he interrupted the Sloth. Yeah, there we go. Just deplete his key, which should make him nice and easy. So there we go. There's an enemy down the bottom, so I'll just melee this bad boy. I'll do some arrows. I've got an item tucked away. What's this? Some swords. And then we can create another shortcut by opening this door. Kind of just leads back to the sort of starting area-ish. Anyway, we'll backtrack. Back up to here. And it might be worth resting before this boss. In fact, we should be fine, but depending on how many items you've got and stuff, like your ninjutsu, in fact, might as well pop it just to be on the safe side. Just a cheeky rest before you go into this boss, because we're going to be spamming through quite a lot of feathers and stuff, so you might as well have, you know, more feathers rather than less feathers. Make our life a lot easier. So we'll just buff up as per usual, just do the same kind of thing that we have been doing, trying to get purification on, and then trying to get an elemental debuff on as well to cause confusion, and then just blast through the feathers. I'm not quite sure what happened to the video there, it just kind of froze up a second, but there we go. Anyway, let's buff up and crack on. Try and get Sloth first of all. Ideally. So I'm going to skip through the cutscene, lock on, back up a little bit, Sloth away. Try and get purification on if possible. I'm going to use Renegade Dragon. Completely forgot we had that until right now. So Renegade Dragon has been used. So he's got confusion. I believe he had confusion. Just going to pop a few feathers. He's gone into Dark Realm, so it's going to be a little bit spicier. So I'm just going to play it safe in this mode real quick. Reapply barrier, reapply Sloth. We'll go for fire because it will sort of lock on and home in on him. It's pretty much out of juice now, there we go. We did get him a little bit spicy there, so I'm glad that we went back and rested up, because we definitely smashed through quite a lot of feathers there. So that is that. We'll push on through here, and we have a shrine. You could also use your inspiriting gems to pump up your yokai gauge. I'm just going to go for Constitution there once again, just to give us a bit more health at this point in the game. So yeah, if you want to get your yokai gauge ready, ours is at 90 at this point. But you could use an Inspiriting Gem, so you had your Yokai Form available for that boss. You could also use the Kasha Yokai ability, which would be quite good on that as well. So other than that, we are good to go. Push on down here. We've got NPC chilling on the floor. Just leave her to it. I think she might actually give you an item if you spam her a little bit. Yeah, it's a Herbal Remedy. Don't forget you can set the Herbal Remedies, because we've got like loads of those. We haven't really used like literally any. So it might be worth setting those as a shortcut if you want to for some extra healing. What we'll do is I'm going to use a red spider lily. In fact, I'll try and hold on to that. Just want to get our magic up a little bit. But I'll go for the Arch Yokai Talisman instead. I'll go for that option instead. Looks like we've got red summons, which is not ideal. Gotta be careful here. So we're going to play it safe, try and get a Sloth on, try and get Renegade Dragon if we can. Sometimes these red summons don't aggro, and sometimes they do. There is a guy that's kind of like playing that instrument once again. He's on the opposite side of a like a cliff kind of thing. I'll explain that better in just a moment when I can actually show you what I'm talking about. So we'll just spam through the feathers to take out that guy. I'm actually going to rest up when the Kodama pop back. So I'll try and show you what I mean. So when we go to this next area, there's a giant house that's shooting like massive cannon blasts at us. So you've got to be really careful of the cannon blast coming from the house. You can see it like up at the top there. And then there's a massive cliff, and on the opposite side of the cliff there's a guy that's playing that instrument that's summoning those red summons. So we'll see if we can get through, ideally without a summon bothering us. So it's a good idea to hide behind these rocks. So if the cannon blast does come towards you, the rocks will stay, whereas these barricades will blow up. So barricades will take one hit and then they'll blow up. So you get covered from one shot, but after the first shot then you're on your own. So try and fight enemies. Basically I'm trying to use these, even though it's quite difficult to do, trying to use these rocks as cover, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I think that enemy just got blew up. Works out pretty well. Gonna grab this item real quick. Yeah, so just watch out for these things that are kind of like shooting at you. Definitely use the rocks as cover. You can also like force him to blow this barricade up. Creates a way through. However, we're not actually going to go that way because there's the hot spring location that we need to bag for this stage. We have to fight quite a spicy enemy to get it. So what I'm going to do is buff up and fight the spicy enemy, ideally whilst staying in cover at the same time, which is a lot easier said than done. So I'm going to try and get Sloth on this guy, and then I'm going to try and get cover, if I can do, behind, fingers crossed, a rock. And I'm going to use a bunch of fire. And then water and lightning to take him out, so it's relatively safe-ish to sort of do that. You don't really want to be fighting out in the open whilst the cannon is shooting you, because that will happen. And then that beefy enemy will most likely take you out, so just be very aware of that. He drops a rusty key item that we need to open these doors. Follow this round and grab these items, Ninja's locks. And this is the only way to get the hot spring location, the one and only hot spring location for this stage. Head on up inside the building. There's also a yellow crystal as well, so just give this crystal the old one too. Gotta be careful. There we go. So take that out, then grab the hot spring. There we go. So that is the one and only hot spring for this stage. Make sure to grab that bad boy if you're going for the all hot springs achievement. Next we're going to go back out into this crazy field. Work our way forward a bit more. And try and sort of like take your time with this area, because there's quite a lot of stuff that's popping off, and it's quite easy to get quite easy to get killed here because you've got all sorts of stuff that's trying to kill you all at the same time. There we go. So we should be able to see that music instrument guy, which ideally we want to take him out because that's the guy that's summoning those red summons. Let's shuriken this bad boy. Also got an enemy over there that I want to take out. We got him. Dropped a little bit of loot. That's these red summons that will spawn. Maybe we can run straight past and take out the musician guy. Trying to see if we can shoot him from here, but I can't really see him. So what we'll do, I think we'll just run across and go for it. So just gonna buff up for this. He is just here. Hidden behind that bit, so just take him out there, just behind that barrier. He's quite squishy, so he does die quite fast. However, the red summon is still here, so I think we'll go for feathers. Try and fight in a safe location. Maybe explosive rounds will do a good job. Yes, they do. Well, that worked out pretty well. Explosive rounds. Okay, so now we need to try and get the loot without being blown up, which is a lot easier said than done. And also without falling to our doom on a bridge. So there we go, that's all that. A couple of items that we could bag. Don't think these items are... Oh, that's actually really good, yeah, on my major locks. And we'll just clean up the loot from this bit just here. Okay, so far so good. I think we are all now clear on this section. So let's get cracking. Just follow this back round. Almost just ran off a cliff. Got one more item behind here. Okay, we should be good to go. Keep on pushing forward. Not too much popping off in this area. I think there's just some random enemies, random items. Switched to weapon by mistake. Just grab some bits and bobs. Treasure chest there. I don't think there's any item up on this tower, but we can get the loot that we got from shooting that guy. Scampus. Got to give the Scampus an old pet. It's got to be done. Other than that, we are good to go. We're into the dark realm. We've got a yellow crystal. We've got some sloth, so what we'll do is go for the old sloth option. We've got quite a lot of feathers still as well, so we might as well just blast with some of those. Combination of fire and lightning. You can smash this old crystal. Watch out for the pulse. There we go. That's that one. I think I may have lost count of the yellow crystals so far, but I think that was 5 so far. We'll just grab this door. This is a shortcut back to a shrine, so it's definitely worth popping a cheeky rest at a shrine at this point. We've got a treasure chest just tucked away behind that corner. What I probably would do is rest at the shrine first, and then we've got quite a beefy enemy to take out, so rest first. Might be able to get a level up. I'm not sure if we've got any stones and shards and stuff, so Just blast through those perhaps and see what we can do. Yeah, it's not quite a level up, I don't think, but there we go. That should do. On my magic, let's have a look at skill points. Got some pretty decent nodes over here on the left. The acquired Amrita plus 3%, so might as well bag that over there. And then we can head back through the shortcut. Now take out this big beefy yokai. And buff up for that. Try and get Sloth on to start the fight. Hopefully don't miss. We're good. Just gonna go for fire first of all. That'll do. So just a combination of fire, water and lightning to get those debuffs, get that confusion status. Delete the key and job done. I believe we can work our way down to like a little island bit down here. I think there's a Kodama, so we've got a log that we can walk down here. Watch out for these cappers. I think there's 2 or 3 of these cappers. You don't want them to start breakdancing again. So what we'll do is whip out the rifle, explosive rounds, make it count. Try and go for a headshot ideally. There we go, just be careful on this log. I'm going to heal up because these guys can sometimes hit quite hard, so ideally go for that headshot if we can get it. I'll do 2 headshots. Does the job. So just a case of cleaning up down here. I think we've got an item tucked away, item tucked away here, and I think there's a Kodama. Yep. Just grab the Kodama tucked away behind the tree. Other than that, that's that little bit sort of sorted. So we'll just go back up the log. You can pop open a shortcut if you want to, just crack these doors. This is the double doors from earlier. It kind of leads back to the original, the starting bit of the stage. We don't need to go that way, but we might as well pop those open in case we do for whatever reason. Next bit is up this path towards the castle. It's probably a good idea to just quickly pop back through to the shrine. Have a cheeky rest. I think we can level up as well, so we might as well pop that. I'm going to do Constitution again. I want to keep us alive. So there we go. Then this bit can be a bit spicy because you've got a lot of stuff all happening at the same time. You got like boulders being rolled down into your face, and if you get hit by the boulder, I believe it's one-shot kill, so you just get deleted straight off the face of the planet. So yeah, just watch out for these enemies. On this slope, there's a yokai out there that's going to push the boulder. So here it comes. Just get proper clear of that, because like I say, it can one hit and you're deleted, so just be careful. The yokai here as well, going to buff up. Try and hit him with a sloth to start off with, so and get purification on. If he's out of key like that, we should be good just to keep on meleeing away to delete him. Once again, just be careful of the boulders. I think there's another one that comes down, so what I'll do is just try and tuck ourselves away in this corner. Yeah, there is one coming down, so I've got no idea where it ends. It's there, so just be aware of that. Once again, it can delete you, so we don't want that. Just going to pop this guy with a few ranged shots. I'm not going to waste a bullet there, might as well just give him a tickle to delete him. Right, so far so good. Again, watch out for boulders. I think there's more boulders. Yeah, here we go. Just going to try and get it to start its journey. Yeah, I'm going to get the out of there. And that one smashes the wall. I think that's the last one, if memory serves. It's one of these enemies, which is a massive pain. Also got a hidden kappa. So we are paralysed, which is not ideal. Quite a bad situation, so let's get out of there. Enki, there we go. I think we are clear there. I was trying to change the shortcut stats there, but it kept using the barrier by accident, so that's why I used that about 3 times or so. Anyway, just going to buff up. Got some explosive rounds. I'm going to whip those out to do some more damage to this guy. Just be very careful of these enemies. They can do a lot of damage. I'm going to go for kunai, I think, to finish the job. There we go. And then we have the final yellow crystal. So watch out for the pulse. I can't see it pulsing actually, but there we go. So make sure to grab that crystal, and then you got the achievement for the stage. So that's the mission-based achievement, and then I believe on top of that, we've also got the last Kodama just tucked away in that corner as well. So we've got all the crystals, all the Kodama. We've got the hot spring location for the stage. We've not been crushed to death by a boulder. So yeah, all looking good. All looking good. Other than that, we've just got the boss of the stage, which is this like crazy house. So for this boss, the only thing that we sort of haven't done yet in this walkthrough is switch the guardian spirit that's equipped. So normally I just use phantom like the whole time, but sometimes to get a burst counter, specifically for this particular fight right here, sometimes whip out the brute, which is like the red guardian spirit. So the burst counter with the brute looks like this, which is very different to the phantom burst counter. And the only reason that it's good for this particular fight is this enemy does a sort of like red, one of those red charged attacks, and the phantom burst counter doesn't really do a very good job of actually getting the burst counter. It misses very, very often. Whereas if you switch to the red one, the brute one, it's a lot more likely to actually get the burst counter to work on this specific move that this guy does. So sometimes in this fight you might see me switching. If you look in the top left corner, you basically what you do to switch that is hold down RB and then press left trigger, and it switches between your guardian spirit 1 and then your secondary guardian spirit. So if you see that switching in the top left, that's what's happening. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Other than that, everything else is just standard procedure. We'll have our plant fruit on. We could whip out a Scampus. We've got a point in Shiflin, so we might as well just pop that on some random point. That'll do for now. Ninjutsu, not really too fussed about those ninjutsu points at the minute. So yeah, let's jump into it. So I'm going to buff up as per usual, just the talisman's on, the purification, barrier. We'll try and get a slow talisman on and let's go for it. Okay. So I'm going to try and get a sloth on. Just kind of smash away on this hand here. Just going to watch out for the falling rocks. Heal up. So watch out for that. Basically for that I just sprint around. Kind of like avoids the eye laser thingy. A lot of the time it's quite safe to sort of like stand to the sort of like outside sides of the hands. I'm going to try rolling and sprinting to avoid those things there. Unfortunately at the minute I've not actually been on the same side as a hand that's doing the red attack, so what I was talking about before I've not actually been able to show you. So same again. I tried it on the right, but I don't think it actually it's got to be on the relevant hand as such. So for that one I'm just sprinting basically to avoid that laser attack. Trying to smash that so we can get a attack in there. There we go, that should open him up to critical strike. So you can then run up and then deliver the critical. So it does massive damage once you get it. It takes a while though to get things going. I'm going to go for some feathers. We've not really used much feathers just yet. We use some lantern plant fruits. This is an example of that. I can switch to burst counter now and get the burst counter. If we're basically attacking the correct hand at the right time. And try and smash this if possible. There we go. Try and smash these crystals. Pop barrier talisman on. Ideally I could do with popping some herbal remedies on because I've smashed through quite a lot of stuff as it is. I've also got Yokai Form, so what we'll do as he's going into Dark Realm is I'm going to go into Yokai Form as well. Hold down heavy attack. Get a burst counter in there. Use Sloth Talisman. Some water feathers to finish the job. That should do. I think there's one more critical strike to have there. That was a bit spicy. On that part there, I didn't do a great job of like dodging the initial attacks. Just took a lot of laser beams to the face. But essentially with that, you want to be kind of like running and staying quite agile. Sort of like heading to the right, heading to the left. And a lot of the laser beams from the eyes, what you'll find is if you run all the way to the right and kind of like hide behind his arms, either all the way to the right hand side or all the way to the left hand side as well. A lot of those, if you just keep sprinting, a lot of the eye lasers will just completely miss. But if you want to be a bit safer there, probably pop on some herbal remedies in one of the slots instead of something else, for example the fruits or maybe the salt, whatever works best for you. But yeah, other than that, that's the end of the mission, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to like, subscribe and drop a comment. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.